Alright lads, how you doing? Welcome to Baggy TV, welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are having a good day. In today's video I'm going to be talking about a bunch of things. I'm going to be talking about Kai Havertz and the proposed bid that is supposed to be submitted today. I'm also going to be talking about Wilian Loftus-Cheek, Ross Barkley potentially being sold. Also the potential transfer of Emerson Palmieri to Inter Milan and Wilian's contract extension. A whole bunch of things thrown into this video. So before we get into the video lads, make sure you subscribe to my channel. Turn that bell notification button on. Like, comment and share my video. I'd appreciate that. Now let's jump into the video. So the Kai Havertz situation. That's been ongoing for some time and it's been developing quite rapidly, and it seems like it's going to be getting to the stage where things are going to be made official. You see, there's reports coming out of Germany and elsewhere, and it's been reported here in the British media that suggests Chelsea will be making a bid for Kai Havertz officially after the conclusion of the German Cup final, which is being played today. These reports suggest that Chelsea have reached some sort of an agreement with the player or with the club that they will be making their offer today. Now, you can't really read too much into these reports because, as we know in the past, a lot of these reports have turned out to be false. Even though they are coming from reputable sources, it suggests that there is something behind them, but how accurate are these? We don't really know. Now, we do know a few things though. We do know that Kai Havertz is interested in playing in the Premier League. That is something that is clear. Now, there are some pundits that have suggested that Kai Havertz should be looking to play for a club that has a German manager. And we all know what that means. They're suggesting he should be looking to move to Liverpool. That is a viable option if Kai Havertz is interested in playing for Jurgen Klopp. But it does seem more likely that he'd be interested to join his teammate, Timo Werner, at Chelsea, where they can continue their attacking partnership that they have for the national team. And you also have to understand something else. Chelsea plays in London, the capital of the UK, of England, whereas Liverpool is a different type of city. Now, I don't want to be bashing Liverpool and Merseyside because that's not what I'm about, but Chelsea does look like a more attractive option for a player like Kai Havertz. Anyway, that is neither here nor there. If the bid is submitted, we'll have to wait and see what happens. I'm not sure if agent Rudiger is going to be involved in this, but why not? At least he can do something right, even though he can't defend. Moving on to Wilian Loftus-Cheek and Ross Barkley's situation. You see, Wilian Loftus-Cheek and Ross Barkley's situation has been linked to this transfer for Kai Havertz. A lot of reporters have suggested that Chelsea have to sell Wilian Loftus-Cheek and Ross Barkley to fund the Kai Havertz transfer. Nonsense. Chelsea does not have to sell anyone to fund Kai Havertz. Chelsea are financially secure enough to go for Kai Havertz. However, and there is a however, if Chelsea wants to bolster the team, wants to strengthen the squad and get a left back, a centre back, and more recently it has become apparent that we also need to get a goalkeeper. Those three positions will require us to make some sort of sales, some sort of transfers in order to fund these purchases, especially if we are looking to go for big name players, the likes of Koulibaly, Oblak, Ben Chilwell. No, seriously, I mean, if we're looking to get some big players, we are going to need to get some more cash coming in to buy those players. I know the names that I've mentioned are not the names that a lot of you had on their minds in regards to the goalkeeping position, the defender and the left back. There is alternatives to those names, cheaper and even in some cases better players to come in these positions. So Chelsea will need to make some sort of sales to fund those transfers, but not Kai Havertz. Now, in regards to Wilian Loftus-Cheek and Ross Barkley, I think there are other players that could be sold to make room for these new transfers. Now, in regards to Wilian Loftus-Cheek, there is something that I want to say. And it's linked to him specifically. Wilian Loftus-Cheek's name was never ever mentioned in regards to a player being sold, a player transferred, a player that we need to get rid of to make money to bring some other player in. That was never ever mentioned in the past. Why is it being mentioned now? Why am I reading this in newspapers and in the media today? Do you know why? because the lad had a couple of bad performances since he came back from his horrendous injury. Yeah, the man had a horrendous injury. The man was out for a whole year. He comes back, trying to grind his way back to fitness. A couple of bad performances, all of a sudden, Chelsea need to sell the man. Chelsea need to sell the man to make way for X player, Y player. No. Chelsea does not do that. Chelsea does not do that. Just look at Van Ginkel. Look at other players. When one of our boys is injured, when one of our boys needs help, Chelsea steps up and helps the man. We give him treatment. We give him a path to recovery. We give him a way to get back into shape. That's what Chelsea does. Chelsea doesn't say, let's sell the man, let him go elsewhere. Maybe he'll revive his career elsewhere. Nah, not for Ruben Loftus-Cheek. Not for a player who has done bits for Chelsea. Not for a player that has done bits for England in the last World Cup. Do you guys remember in the last World Cup? Ruben Loftus-Cheek was just coming onto the scene. And he did his duty by England and by Chelsea. And now we want to get Kai Havertz, we want to get this, let's sell Ruben Loftus-Cheek. I'm not for that life, guys. I'm not for that life. So I want to know in the comments below what you guys think about these reports, because I personally believe that Chelsea needs to stand by Ruben Loftus-Cheek, help him to recover and get back to fitness, because we have a star player there. And we should back him, protect him, and move on. Ross Barkley, great player to have in the squad. Bad games, good games, but he's a great player to have in the squad. I think Chelsea do need to make some sales, but they need to do them elsewhere. Jorginho. You know what I mean? Anyway, moving on to another story. In regards to Emerson Palmieri. I'm going to leave Wilian to the end. Emerson Palmieri. Emerson Palmieri has not been doing it for Chelsea recently. He's not really been given the opportunity to do it for Chelsea recently, some would say. In a nutshell, the man is not happy, and I can see why. Inter Milan do seem to be interested. Inter Milan do seem to have the funds to come in and get Emerson Palmieri, transfer him to Inter Milan. And do you know what? I think Emerson Palmieri, for his career and for the lad, going to Inter Milan might not be such a bad idea. For us, it would help generate funds for our new left back, because we are actively seeking to get a left back. So selling Emerson Palmieri, and to be honest, I would have rather seen Alonso go. But if we have to get rid of Emerson, you know, it is what it is. Get Emerson to Inter Milan and use the money to put forward for the left back that we want. And it might just be Tagliafico, hopefully. Not Ben Chilwell. Not Ben Chilwell, Tagliafico. Anyway, moving on to the Wilian story. Wilian has had a good couple of games since lockdown. Wilian scored twice against West Ham, but really we should be thanking Pulisic for those 2 goals. I mean, it was his effort that allowed Wilian to get those goals. I mean, no doubt, brilliant free kick by Wilian, really, really well taken, and he deserves that goal. And the penalty is a penalty. He got the goal. So Wilian's getting those 2 goals. You know, well done, mate. But we shouldn't judge Wilian on these performances. We should judge Wilian on, what is it, 7 years of service? 7 years of service where he has contributed a lot to Chelsea. And in my opinion, he has been good with Chelsea. He has been a good servant to Chelsea. I know there's people out there who hate Wilian and who call him a snake and call him this and call him that. End of the day, Wilian is doing this as his career, his livelihood. He's working, he's earning his money. Just like you and I work for our money, so does he. And he's going to be looking for the best deal for himself, for his family, for his future. Therefore, I don't really have a bone to grind with him in regards to him trying to get the best deal for himself. We as a club obviously will offer him the best deal for us, because in the end he's going to be serving us. So if we can give him a 1 year, 2 year contract, why not? He would do his job for us for the next couple of years, and he would be part of the rotation system at Chelsea. And he knows that. He knows that because he knows the players that are coming in would most likely be taking the starting spots, such as Hakim Ziyech and others. Therefore, he would be a rotation player. And if he can play his part in a rotation system for Chelsea, why not have him on board for another couple of years? I'm not for the 3 year contract that he's asking for. I wouldn't mind to see him here for another year or 2, maybe. I'd like to know your thoughts on the Wilian situation down below. Made it to the end. Thank you. Make sure you subscribe. Let's hit that 2,000 subscriber milestone today, hopefully, before the match. Do us a favour, hit that subscribe button. Thank you, lads. Thanks for being here. I'll catch you in my next video. Peace out.